All right. All right, we'd like to call to order the meeting of the Lakeville Park Commission on June 29th at 8:07 p.m. In accordance with the provisions allowed by Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, signed by the governor on June 17th, 2021, the June 29th, 2021 public meeting of the Park Commission will be held remotely. However, to view this meeting in progress, please go to facebook.com/lakecam. You do not need a Facebook account to view this meeting. This meeting will be recorded and available to be viewed at a later date at Lakecam TV. Excuse me. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session. And if I'll read the purpose. I'm going to go to executive session pursuant to MGL 30A to consider or interview applicants for employment or appointment by a preliminary screening committee if the chair declares that an open meeting will have a detrimental effect on obtaining qualified candidates, provided, however, that this clause shall not apply to any meeting, including meetings of a preliminary screening committee to consider interview applicants who have passed the preliminary screening and return to open session. So we will return to open session after this executive session. So that is the motion. Can I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on going to executive session? We'll take a roll call vote. Darlene, how do you vote?
Yes.
Yes to go to executive session, no to
Yes.
not. Paula?
Yes.
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
All right. So move. We will go to leave this meeting, go into executive session, then we will return to open session once complete. All right, we're back.
Take the time.
I just get to 9:14 p.m. We return from executive session to open session of Lakeville Park Commission meeting. Second item on our agenda, third item on our agenda is a possible vote on Clear Pond Park Director candidate. Does anybody want to make a motion?
Sure. I'd like to make a motion that we recommend Jesse Medford for director of Clear Pond for the 2021 season.
I second it.
Just for clarification, that motion is to select Jesse, not to recommend him, right? You want to select him as being
To select Jesse Medford as the director of Clear Pond.
Any discussion? Anybody?
No. No.
All right, we'll take a vote. Yay means yes. Obviously, no means no. Scott Holmes, how do you vote?
Yes.
Darlene Lee, how do you vote?
Yes.
Paula Hool, how do you vote?
Yes.
Tony Cupie, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, it is. Looks like we have a winner. Who's going to contact Jesse and finalize that?
I can.
Okay. Make sure we'll have to touch base with Clarendon in the morning as well. Tell her we'll start getting the paperwork ready, and for the testing has to be done. COVID check and drug test. All right, moving right along. Discuss with possible vote on the new opening date for Clear Pond Park. Assuming it's going to take a week, that's usually what I say. I'm guessing Friday the 9th is something we should be shooting for. I don't think we can say Wednesday. It's like it might be a little too soon for all things to be done. So
I would disagree with that. I would say that if everything is done by next Wednesday, then that's when we could open.
But we don't know about that there. All I'm saying is we have to get some things ready, and maybe you guys can get it ready by then, getting the lines in, everything else ready.
It's done.
All that's been done. The schedule's made, the lines are in.
Again, so we don't, all I'm saying is we don't know for sure we can get the testing done by then, since it's a holiday weekend. Wednesday might be aggressive. But I guess we can put it out there. I don't want to keep changing dates and confusing the townspeople. We're doing a lot of that lately. So
I think that we need to make a push to open the park as soon as possible.
Excuse me, Nellie.
I just want to mention that Friday, which is July 2nd, or Monday, July 5th, is probably where businesses are going to have a holiday in observance of the 4th of July. So you got to take that day out, one of those days out, for doing things such as the quarry check and other testings. So that would leave if it's offered tomorrow, it would be tomorrow, the 1st and the 6th before opening. That would only leave 3 days to get everything done.
I know, I think Corinda said like 3 to 5 days in the past, but don't quote me. I don't know how long it takes. I thought she was saying at least that time, so.
Yeah. I know when they, Joe, Mr. Chairman, when they did the attendance, I was surprised at how quick the results came back. These kids went over to Trident in Taunton, and they had the physical, they had the drug test, and I think it was within 3 days. But of course, it wasn't holiday time, so it was a regular work week. So it wasn't that bad. And my understanding is that some of these things don't take that long, but maybe it depends on where you're having it done too.
I mean, I think we're gonna go through a day and a half for paperwork processing to HR and the whole 9 yards. I don't know what it takes for that team to do that, but again, I'll open up anybody has any ideas.
Excuse me, why don't we check with Corinda in the morning and see what she feels would be the earliest time? And that way.
But we're gonna vote on the date tonight.
Okay.
That's why only thing I was saying, I was trying to say Friday. If you get it done earlier, that's fine. But if you don't, then a disappointment again, moving it out. That's all. But it's what everybody else decides. Darlene,
Just a quick comment. Maybe shoot for the 9th, but maybe if everything, all the ducks are in order, have a soft opening on that Wednesday, Thursday. You know, just put it out there that the park's open. Can we vote on the 9th and then just change it if need be?
Mhm.
Just
Sure.
a thought.
anybody want to make a motion on the date?
Certainly.
a
I'd
motion to-
Go ahead, Tony.
I'll make a motion to open Clear Pond Park on July 9th. And if possible, and the director's outstanding, the qualifications that he needs are complete by then we can open it earlier.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, roll call vote. Scott, how do you vote?
Aye.
Darlene?
Aye.
Tony?
Aye.
Paula?
Aye.
Ayes have it. July 9th is the date we'll put out there. That's gonna be opening. One other note on that day, I know we said we're gonna do it, but I haven't seen it yet. We're gonna put, are we going to put a sign on the fence stating Lakeville only?
Tony is gonna put one up on Thursday that says residents only and open Wednesday to Sunday.
Okay.
Okay,
Right, Tony?
Yeah, I can do that.
I think I will be, I'm gonna be speaking to the police chief this week. I think I'm gonna ask for a detail on that first weekend open. Just in case there's any issues with people not knowing the rules and all that there. So I'll let you know, I'll email you guys what that is, but we're gonna have to pay for that. But I think it's it'd be money well spent, just in case prevent any aggravated people there. Right.
Mr. Chairman, would you consider that if we opened on Wednesday, to go Wednesday through Sunday for the first 5 days with residents only, having a detail?
The only reason I thought the weekend, Paul, I figured there's gonna be more people on the weekend than it is during the week.
Okay.
That was just my thought. You know, that's usually when you guys said the crowds are on the weekends. I think more people out from out of town might want to come in on the weekends.
To clarify for the public though, Joe, other people from other towns are allowed. They just have to be guests of residents.
Exactly, but you might get people who don't know it right now, who don't go to the website, drive by and say, hey, I'm gonna go into the park today, got my family with me. That's all I'm saying, and it could be issues. You get new attendants, have no idea how to stop people from going in there. I think there's a detail would be good the first weekend. I don't know what the fees are, but I think it's worth money we're paying. That's why I just thought the weekend. I think if
I
we can
agree,
handle
but
that on the week.
they did have a little, I have to tell you this, they had a little training while we were cleaning up, because we left the gate open and people were coming in because they thought the park was open. We just didn't. So I explained to them that they had to talk to them and of course be pleasant and tell them that it was not open. So at least they got a head start, but I think it's going to be a little bit overwhelming the first few days.
I would suggest if whatever the day we're gonna open, the day before, if we could have a practice run, I think it might be a well thing of doing, maybe getting some lifeguards or the attendants there, walk through how to handle the money, how to close the place, open the place. I think it might be a good thing to do it the day before.
That was what I was thinking too, and I believe the former director used to have them in there the day before, but usually they were doing cleanup. Well, we've done a lot of that, and we've put a lot of things in place, signs up, and even the gate that we used that they're going to go through for paying. And so yes, I agree. I think we need to introduce everybody to the system.
And I'll just let you guys coordinate that as needed. Item number 5, discuss with possible vote on Clear Pond Park operating procedures. Nellie, I think you have some information on that, did you, or no?
It was really kind of mainly to talk about if we do say have a lifeguard or two call out sick or something happens to that extent, you know, what is our sort of regulations on this? Are we closing as soon as one calls out? 2, you know, what call are we making on sort of a cutoff?
I think that the director will make that call, and if he knows that it's 1 to 25, you can only let 25 people in the water at that time. Even if you have only 2 lifeguards, you have to limit the amount of people that are in the water. Do you have to close completely? I thought about that. I don't think so, but I do think that they have to limit the amount of people not on the beach, but in the water.
Is that range 1 lifeguard to 25 people?
It used to be 1 to 75. Now I read online that the American Red Cross is saying 1 to 25. I don't know if it has to do with the shortage. And I don't know why it changed, but that's what I'm seeing. So if they're saying 1 to 25, then that means that you can only have 25 people in the water if you have 1 lifeguard, and then you've got 1 lifeguard in the water and 1 on shore.
Right. But we would have 3 lifeguards per day on
We
duty.
will have 4, but the thing is, she's saying, what if 2 people call in sick?
Then
God forbid.
50 people would be, if we have 4, then 50 people would be allowed in the water, which is a lot. I've never seen 50
No,
people
if
in the
you have
water
4,
ever at Clear
100
Pond, but
if you have 4, 100 people are allowed in the water.
right.
If
I've
you have
never
2
seen 100 people
lifeguards.
at Clear Pond in the water, but
Yeah, but what I'm saying is she's suggesting that, you know, if there's 2 call outs, what do? You can't.
it
You
doesn't
can't
mean that we
have-
have to close the park. It's
No,
just
you
limiting the
have
people
to
in the water.
limit how many people are going into the water.
The only question I have, now, this is just a hypothetical question. If you have 20 people in the water, 1 lifeguard gets called away, what about the other people in the water? How do we keep those people safe? If their back is turned, they get a lost kid, they run after a
Well,
lost kid or something.
If Joe, somebody, if there's an issue where there is, the lifeguard leaves their post for some reason, you don't let anybody in the water. That's
But
a
I'm being-
common thing to do.
I'm saying they're already in the water, Paula. I had 24
You
people
take
in the
them
water.
out, you blow your whistle and they come out.
But
That's why they're supposed to do that.
hold on for a second. I'm saying scenario, 24 people in the water. Lifeguard has to take care of 1 kid, pull 1 kid out of the shallow end. They don't have time to blow the whistle, wait till everybody comes out to tend to that child. What about the other 23 that are in the water? Do we have eyes on them or not?
What I'm saying is 1 person attends the child. They start their first aid or resuscitation. The other lifeguard gets the others out of the water. And that doesn't take but 1 minute to get them out. And that's the end of it. You'll have 2 lifeguards still there. I mean, you can put any scenario you want, but they still have to come out of the water.
So my question was, you're not gonna have the park open with just one lifeguard, or
No,
are you?
no.
So you're gonna have a minimum of 3, you're saying?
We
Right?
should have ideally 3, but if somebody, Nellie is just saying, what if 2 people call in sick? Well, if 2 people call in sick, that means you limit the amount of people that are gonna be going in the water. You can't let more than a certain amount in the water, because you only have a 1 to 25 ratio.
So are we gonna have that documented anywhere, like a checklist or a list of, in a lifeguard shack or whatever, that says, hey, these are the guidelines? Maybe that already exists, I don't know, if somebody already knows.
I don't know that there are guidelines that are written down, but I know that that's common sense, and your head lifeguard will know them. And I also think that if it isn't, then it has to be dictated to, that this addressed, excuse me, not dictated, but it has to be addressed. But I believe that they would know that, but we can reinforce it. We can write it down, but the ratio is 1 to 25, and you don't put 100 people in the water with, or 75 with 2 lifeguards. You just can't do that.
All right, so I just think, that was the point of what Nellie's line item here was, is to have some guidelines maybe posted somewhere for lifeguards to know that, as well as the director.
Maybe we can talk to the director about developing some guidelines then.
So Nellie, there's no vote on that there. There's nothing to vote on that item there, that I can tell. So we're moving on to old business. Further updates, clip on park, the online payments and items needed for opening. Nellie, do you have any update on that?
Yes, I'm gonna get training with Unipay tomorrow for the online payments, which should be ready to go after that. So once our director is set up, they'll get the cell phone that's for Clear Pond Park, so that way we can set up the emails for every transaction. So they'll have a copy of it. I should be able to print reports for Clear Pond as well, to reference, because everyone is being told that they must produce their residential address, some sort of proof of residential address. So whether it's on your license or a recent bill, something to that extent, has to show that you are a Lakeville resident to get your season pass, to actually get your pass at the gate, or to go ahead and use the daily pass, which will be available online too. So I guess there's just a couple of concerns about that. I don't work every day, so how they're going to put the reports all the time, I'm sure I can give the director access to it, but they would have to do it at home. We'd also have to make sure that they're all Lakeville residents ordering these items online, and it's not someone who's mistakenly tried to get a daily pass and not have a Lakeville resident as their escort and come to the gate. So there's a concern that somebody has purchased the pass, they're not a Lakeville resident, and now they've come to the gate. Because there's
I thought we weren't going to do that, Nellie.
no, the daily pass, not the guest pass.
Okay.
It's disclaimed, it's absolutely disclaimed everywhere that it's residents. You have to be a resident, you have to show proof, but I'm concerned about a mistake.
You're saying the season pass, you mean, or no?
Both of them.
Okay, all right.
Guys, we have to accept the fact that there's going to be mistakes. There's going to be people trying to get in, and we just, we're going to have to deal with it civilizedly. But we just can't, flip out everything that something goes wrong. There's going to be some kinks in this. This is a new system. We're just going to have to learn from it and do the best that we can.
But you want to anticipate some things. Nellie brings up some good points to think about, to maybe you can head off some issues prior to the opening. That's something you definitely have to think about.
Yeah, I think that we've thought about a lot of things, Joe.
And plus the fact that they don't even have to go through that. They can just go through the fence.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think that people maybe in the town realize how much time that goes into this and how much time that volunteers actually put into thinking about all the things in Clear Pond that go into that. So I'd like to assure the townspeople that we have been doing that. We've thought about lots and lots of scenarios and lots of, how we can make this park the best as possible and try to get it's open as soon as possible. Unfortunately, there's been a snag with the director position this year where we had somebody back out with a week to go. And that was unfortunate that the park was not able to open at the scheduled date on the 26th. But as we work diligently to try to do so here as of tonight and elect a new director, we're really trying to do that for the townspeople.
So Nellie, any other items needed for the opening that you want to go over?
Yeah, just a couple things that we're gonna have to review with the director, and try to figure out all the toiletries that are need to get over there. I don't know what's left over there from the past season versus what's at Ted Williams Camp right now. If we are opening the concession stand with pre-packed items, since we don't have Serve Safe on site, those need to be ordered.
Yeah, it was my understanding that I did ask about this, and I did talk with Paula about this, that the town office was willing to give $500 to go purchase items. And is that true?
They were looking to do the petty cash for the place called Restaurant Depot that wouldn't invoice us. If we can avoid the petty cash, they would much rather prefer that.
We did suggest a credit card, which was not able to be done. I can happily take the petty cash, go to Restaurant Depot, buy the materials, bring it back to you guys with a receipt, and give you the change.
We can also use our Amazon business account.
But they don't
Okay,
sell food.
They do. They sell prepackaged items.
They do? Somebody said they don't.
Okay,
Amazon?
we can look at
Yeah.
that. Great. We can
We can look at
buy chips and whatever we can. I'll send you a
Exactly.
list then.
So it's definitely something that we have to take a look at to order. If we do want to go towards the petty cash, we need to speak to the town accountant because he has to set everything up.
Would you like a list of the stuff that I would like off Amazon as soon as possible, Nellie?
That'd be great. That way we can start looking at it.
I'm
so
not
it can
sure why
get
this is
shipped
coming
over.
up now and you didn't mention this to me much earlier.
Because I'm not in charge of Clear Pond Park. The director was supposed to take care of it, which he does every year.
But
Yeah.
if you knew that this was
Yeah.
a possibility on Amazon, that would have been
I
nice
did.
to know that, since you knew
Doug
that
was
Paul and I were.
informed of it when
Yeah,
he was director.
I give you touch, guys. I just want to say one thing, and I wasn't going to say it, but it's coming out again. We have to make sure that we don't meddle into the affairs of who does what. The reason we hear and the park's not open right now is because we lost a director because of boundaries. So know your boundaries, stay in your lane, work with the people you work with, and that's it. But no pointing fingers here, anything like that. This is not Nellie's responsibility to do. It's Paul and Tony working with the new director. That's what you got to do. It's a working board. So I don't want to hear back and forth about stuff. Let's stop that now. We got a park to open here. We're not going to lose another director because of stuff.
This has had nothing to do with Paul and I, Joe.
I'm still talking. And that's what we want to make sure we do. We're close to opening this park. Let's just move forward here. Nellie's not going to be opening the food here. Work together. She'll give you some advice here. But I don't want anybody picking on Nellie like that there. I don't like to see that. That's not fair to do. So enough of that there. With that said, I don't think there's anything else to go over on Clear Pond Park. So I'd like to move that we end this meeting of the Lakeville Park Commission at 9:36 p.m.
No, I have something to say, and I
Well,
want to
we
be
can vote.
heard. All right. First of all, we've worked hard on Clear Pond Park and to put to bed any of the issues in terms of whether it's ready. The buoys are out. The sand is there. It's been spread. It's been dragged for whatever they dragged for. We've got equipment out. We've got signs up. The Board of Health came and they did a water test today. They checked the bathrooms. And on Thursday, I will be meeting with someone at 10 in the morning to check the snack bar. I just want to be clear that we've got most everything done. But again, we will meet with the new director to help him transition so that he knows what to do and where things are. There are some supplies there, but I did not know that Amazon would carry any food supplies. And that's good to know because the town has an account with Amazon, as I understand it. So I believe we can go, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that we can go and get things on Amazon, and because there's an account, it'll be billed like that, which would make it very easy, okay? Does that answer everybody's question? Or do you have any questions?
I guess silence is.
Nope. Thank you,
Enough,
Paula.
okay. Again, any other discussion on anything before we make a motion to close the meeting? With that said, I'd like to make a motion, we end the Lakeville Park Commission meeting at 9:38 PM. Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Anybody? All right, roll call vote. Darlene, how do you vote?
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Paula,
Yes,
Tony?
Yes.
Okay, the Lakeville Park, well, the next meeting is already scheduled, so we know where that is already. Other than that, the Lakeville Park Commission meeting is over.